Makes panel. This is not a presentation, this is not a safe discussion. Today, trainers will take a stand, defend it, and be challenged on it. Each speaker will get 15 minutes. Clarity, depth, and composure will matter more than sounding impressive. Panelists, your role is not to agree, your role is to question, probe, and sharpen the conversation. So let's begin. Up first, we have Reena, and today she's here to discuss with us on the topic confidence is built after action, not before it. So over to you, Reena.
Good evening, everybody. So, before I start persuading you all on my topic, let's do something fun. So today I'm here to auction confidence. Yeah. So how many of you actually want it? How many of you want confidence? Yeah, Asha, Smita. All right. So great, but here's a catch. You cannot buy it with money. So I'll give you. You can only earn it, and by doing something which is not very comfortable, which is slightly uncomfortable. All right. So are you brave enough to take up the challenge? Yeah. Maybe not so confident, but I'll give you a small task. Say your name in a dramatic movie trailer voice. Say, example, रीना नाम तो सुना होगा. And say it very trendy nowadays, Dhurandhar. So you can pick up that. Or,
Shall I try?
yeah, yeah, Smita.
Smita, झुकेगा नहीं साला.
Wonderful. Yeah, come on. Somebody else would like to try?
मैं कल्पना जहाँ खड़ी होती हूँ वहीं से लाइन शुरू होती है.
Amazing. Anyone else? All right, there's another task. So here's this pen, and can you I mean, you have to pitch this for 10 lakhs as if it is worth 10 lakhs. Anyone? Just one.
This is the pen that Mukesh Ambani gave it to his wife Neeta Ambani when she turned 50.
Right.
It looks like a plastic, but inside it there is a hidden switch. On pressing that switch, you will find that you have mastered and will fly with an anti-gravitational force. Worth every penny.
All right. All right. So I guess everybody will be ready to buy it. Yeah. So I think it's priced lower. All right. So here's a quick question. Probably when I asked you to, be a part of this, the activity, were you confident before you started, or did it come after you began? All right. So here's my position. Very simple. Confidence is not a prerequisite for action. It is a result of taking action repeatedly. All right. It is not something which you have beforehand. Once you repeatedly complete doing something, or you are a part of an activity which you might have failed once or twice, but gradually you succeed. Attempting that activity or action is something that builds confidence. Now, why does this matter? Because this shows up everywhere, be it student, be it early professionals, be it creators, and even leaders. So gradually they become confident. All right. So people keep waiting to feel ready before they start, and that's where the problem begins. What happens then? What happens? Because we always have an excuse that we are not ready. So we miss opportunities. Overthinking replaces execution. And people confuse lack of experience with lack of ability. All right, think about it. How often do people delay, or you have delayed an action because you were not very confident about it? So it happens with everybody. I may pause for a second, and if you want to answer this, have you delayed any action just because you were not confident?
Initially, yes.
Initially, yes. So let's break this down. So my point is, as I have taken this topic, that it's action first, and then competence, and then confidence. So action creates evidence. Confidence grows when you see proof, right? No action, no proof. No proof, no belief. My second point is confidence is a byproduct, right? Most skilled people you admire, they might not have started confident. They gradually became confident of what they have done, right? They started unsure and acted anyway and finally succeeded. So, waiting for confidence is actually a trap. The third point is small actions build identity. Every small action adds up. Action, competence, confidence, as I told you, that's the real sequence. It cannot be vice versa. It cannot be confidence, competence, and action, right? So it is always action, competence, and confidence. Um, I'll just try to convince you all with a real example. So let me give you a simple example of a student who avoids speaking in class. Why? Because he's not confident. One day, he is forced to present. He survives. He might not have done great that day, but he survives. Then he does it again and again. And after 4 5 attempts, he is comfortable, even confident. So, what changed? Was it a magic? No, not his personality. His personality did not change because he might be an introvert, he might be a shy person. It didn't change. It was action. Since he acted, he became confident and gradually he succeeded. He could change, right? So, I have some practical takeaways for you. So, what should you actually do starting Monday, or starting not today, tomorrow, starting Monday? Change one thing. Stop waiting to feel ready. Take one visible action. Speak up, apply, start, publish. Redefine confidence as this: I act despite uncertainties. There might be several, I'm not very certain, not, but there might be some uncertainties about the outcome, but I'll act. So this should be, your definition of confidence. These simple practices that we all can apply, and that one uncomfortable action per day. It's not important, because if you're confident, you're comfortable with the action, right? But then one uncomfortable action per day will help you grow confidence. Now focus on attempts, not outcome. Track actions, not feelings. So this is what we can do, because feelings follow actions. So as you act, gradually your feelings will change. Now, next is, you might be thinking, what if failure destroys confidence? Yeah, this is a very big question, because we do not attempt because we have a fear of failure. Now, actually, avoiding action destroys it faster. Failure gives feedback, inaction gives nothing. So, at least attempt, right? You might fail. So without thinking of outcome, at least attempt. All right. So action is important. Isn't preparation important? Can be another question. You might be not prepared, can be an excuse for not acting. Yes, preparations matter, but it should support action, not replace it. All right. And there is a very natural human emotion, and that is fear, anxiety. Fear and anxiety is real, but action is still the path through it. Confidence builds gradually, not instantly. So you have to act anyway to overcome your fear. All right. So remember this. I feel that confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you earn through movement. So the real question is, what's one action you have been avoiding that you will finally take today? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reena. Although, I mean, are you saying people should take action even when they feel completely unprepared or underconfident?
Yeah, there might be situations where you have to act because that's the time for action. And you feel you're not confident because you think you're not prepared. But anyways, you are going to lose. You are going to be, you're not, if it is in inaction, if you're not acting, you're going to lose anyway, right? So at least attempt. That's my point. Yeah.
So, where do you draw the line between courage and poor judgment?
Courage and poor judgment. When we have you know courage is something which I feel that which we inherit, right? We are, and that again we become courageous, which I feel is with repeated actions,
Okay,
like, right?
right.
And poor judgment could be it's a situational.
So, how does this apply in high stakes situations like leadership roles or when critical decisions have to be made, where lack of confidence can actually impact outcome?
Yeah. Actually, we have to be very confident about, our actions, right? So, at least, and there are at times when many things are at stake, right? And we feel that we are not confident enough to take up that. But if we are not acting, we'll not know. I mean, of course, a lot of research has to go in, there, when I say preparedness comes in a role, right? You have to do some investigation, you have to, before acting. But I'm not telling the activities which are before, or something which goes before action. Like, you should not be prepared before action. But if you're not acting at all, is my point, if you're not acting at all, and thinking that everything is at stake, and if I act, everything will, I may lose, but then you will lose anyway, right? So preparedness is important, but then inaction, my point is, inaction will lead to loss, right? Anyways, so at least attempt with being conscious and careful, um, you know is something which I take for.
Okay, perfect. Do any one of the panelists over here would you like to pose some questions over here? Yeah, Asha, please go ahead.
Hi, it was wonderful. I could relate so many things, and there were so many things that was checked out that we need to do this to make sure that we have the confidence and our actions are showing up. I just have one question: if you don't act now, how exactly will confidence ever show up?
Yeah, you have to act for gaining
I'm sorry. I'm
confidence.
sorry. I'm just just continuing. So there might be situations where you don't have to act now. There are few situations that you do have a power. You understand that you are supposed to do something, but there are some limitations that you cannot act now, right? So how would your confidence ever show up?
See, my take was unless you act, you will not be confident, right? Your actions are important, which gradually you gain confidence. So, if people say that I acted because I was confident, right? I say that once you act, it doesn't matter whether you fail or it is a success, whether it's a failure or success, but you are at least you get the confidence of that particular action, right? Of that particular work, right? So you get an experience, and gradually, with several attempts, you may succeed. So you don't act now, was your point, right? And then how you'll be confident? I said you have to act, then only you can be confident.
So that's what I said. So if there are some limitations where you cannot act now, may it could be if you take a workplace example, that there are some deadlines.
Okay.
So you're not supposed to act just right now. You're supposed to act in another 10 days. But those 10 days, you have to keep up the loop of confidence that you have it, you can do it. So how are you going to keep up that?
See, what I strongly
It's just
feel.
contradicting to what your topic is, actually. It's just contradictory to what your topic is. That's all.
See, your question is what I understand that you are going to act, maybe you're delaying it, right? It is delayed by 10 days.
It is delayed by the limitations that you cannot do it right now, but you will do it in 10 days. So you are not choosing not to act. You are choosing delayed action because of the limitations. So how are you going to keep up the confidence, that in 10 days also I'm going to get it? So is it like the prep, or is it
Yeah,
your
I
own
guess
personality?
gradually, see, if you have to act, you keep on thinking about that action, right? Or keep on thinking about the work. And see, gradually you prepare yourself mentally. And if you're preparing yourself mentally, of course, you gradually, it shouldn't be overthinking, of course, because that will lead to negativity. So it should be a preparedness. Basically, every day I'm thinking about, okay, this is what I'm prepared better. So you're, moreover, in this case, you're getting more 10 days to prepare for the action. So I think that should lead to more confidence.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I just have one more question, very easy one. It is on a personal level. Okay, if you're okay to answer that.
Yeah.
If by any chance, have you ever faced something like this in your life?
Yeah,
Practically?
there are, as when I was young, there were at times when
Too
I was on.
young.
How young? Yeah, as student.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I was many times. I used to love to. I mean, be part of a debate club.
Okay.
I just was fascinated by that. But then I was not very confident because the group which was leading it was, I mean, the best speakers of the class, and I was not very
Okay.
confident about. But
Okay.
then I got a chance, and I initially, of course, I didn't perform to that level, but gradually, with my action, getting a chance and finally acting, I became confident.
Wow. Thank you so much. Well, lovely.
Yeah.
I'm done with my questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Asha.
No, thank you.
Smita, you wanted to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good session. Insightful, I must say, right? Before acting, being confident, before actions, we need to be. But if we are keeping the same situation in front of the youngsters, so what happens now? They are very good at nowadays. Everything is handy on a click. The things are available. So sometimes it's okay. Unprepared and act, it's okay with, but to some point it may happen that that unpreparedness may lose their confidence when they are on stage, or they may be performing on that, and that becomes very difficult to again enhance their confidence,
Yeah.
where that overconfidence turns into, right? So how should we deal with that? That
Yeah.
students should be prepared and then coming forward for the action.
See, I'm not denying the fact that you should not be prepared. What my point is, even the feeling that I'm not prepared enough to act. I'm pointing out on that feeling that and inaction any which ways will lead to their failure. they are not going to achieve anything with inaction if they are not acting. So at least they get an experience, they get an exposure if they act, right? It might lead failure, but they will understand that where, if they are not prepared, that where and how much they have to prepare more if they are underprepared, right? So I think they should expose themselves. I do not deny that they should not prepare, they should be prepared, right? And of course act. Finally they will gain confidence.
But sometimes rehearsals also boost their confidence.
Yeah,
Uh,
so that is what my point is. They should prepare, they should rehearse, they should practice, they should study. I mean, I'm not telling that you just be confident and go and give your exam. You don't have to study. You have
mhm.
to study, right? It's just that you should not have a fear that I should not act. There are at times when students, I have seen the best of students before exam, they panic so much, and it's because they are bit underconfident, right? But once they give the exam, they get exposed to, they become confident. Ma'am, it was easy, we did it,
True.
right? So it is action which builds confidence. That's my take.
Absolutely true. And that helps even these youngsters to build
Yes,
up their confidence and work ahead with
right.
more enthusiasm and energy.
Yeah.
Thank you for the answers.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you for the
Smita.
question.
Kalpana, do you want to pose a question or say something?
Yes, when even the idea that you suggested, take an action, but sometimes the fear is so overwhelming that it freezes your brain
Right.
and it makes it very difficult to take an action. How do we combat with this fear to reach towards a high level of confidence?
Yes, fear is real, as I told you. But then we have to, gather ourselves, and we have to tell ourselves that, let us act anyway. Yeah. If I don't act, I'll lose anyway, right? So let's act, and we have to convince ourselves somehow to initiate, so that we overcome this fear. So fear will also vanish if you act.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Reena. So, audience, what we saw today was not just speaking, it was thinking under pressure. Strong trainers are not the ones who avoid disagreement, but the ones who stay clear and composed within it. Take away one thing: if your idea cannot stand a question, it's not ready for the room. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next Hot Takes discussion. It's a sign out from Radhika Gautam. Bye bye.